Hello, everyone. Thank you for watching CCN Crown City News, where your news, your neighborhood. I'm Tammy Devine. Our top story, acting Pasadena Police Chief Christopher Vecino recently came under fire in a local paper, The Journal, with allegations of unfair treatment of 2 black officers in the Pasadena Police Department. Vecino met with NAACP and other community leaders at the NAACP headquarters to set the record straight. He says Vecino and members of the NAACP agreed to an off-the-record meeting to clear the air. CCN's Larry Hyde Jr. sat down with both Chief Vecino and NAACP President Joe Brown.
The bigger issue was the allegations about ethnic cleaning that was taking place under Deputy Chief Vecino's watch at the police department.
Local leaders and NAACP President Joe Brown sat down Thursday with Acting Chief of Police Christopher Vecino to discuss alleged ethnic cleansing in the Pasadena Police Department.
When there are some allegations that seem to take off like wildfire, as which was getting ready to take place here in this city, we try to at least get some facts so that we know how to weigh in on that matter.
Chief Vecino says that the current situation stems from only a few residents in the community.
There are some folks who like to cause problems between the police department and the community for their own agenda, for their own purpose. And in the case that we're talking about right now, I believe it's 4 or 5 people in this entire community attempting to speak for the police department employees.
Chief Vecino says the police department investigates itself through their professional standards unit, and the approach is that there are 2 sides to every story. Vecino says that he cannot comment on the matter that has been reported in the media.
There is an internal investigation, and as the media reported, it does involve Pasadena Police Lieutenant Kevin Hall. Because this is a personnel matter, I am required not to divulge information about it.
Vecino also addressed the accusation that he is the officer who put the late local activist Michael Zinzun's eye out with a flashlight in a display of excessive force. He says that he would prefer not to dwell on something that is 23 years old.
While I was involved in that investigation, I didn't have contact with Mr. Zinzun that night. And as discussed in the meeting today with the NAACP that you were obviously present at, there are people here who had knowledge that I didn't, or I wasn't involved with that, and they brought that forward, which I did appreciate.
Both Vecino and Brown walked away from the table saying everyone involved better understood the issues.
I believe that we made great strides today in communication, and I am very appreciative of the community members who attended this meeting. It ended on a very positive note, all of them understanding the situation and what is going on.
While there may be still some issues that we don't all agree on, the major thing is that at least everyone knows exactly what has taken place, and to many of our surprises, exactly who were some of the persons who were bringing some of the facts to the table from a police standpoint, and possibly some of the allegations that may have surfaced in newspapers.
In Pasadena, Larry Hyde Jr., CCN.
Joe Brown says the NAACP will continue to monitor the situation very closely. Chief Vecino says that the Pasadena Police Department has 251 sworn police officers and 150 civilian employees. Of the sworn officers, 17% he says are African American, 32% are Latino, 2% are Armenian, and 41% are white. A crash in Pasadena Thursday involving 3 cars sent a car through a townhome on Union and Mar Vista. Neighbors say this isn't the first time there's been a crash at that intersection. They've asked the city for help, but say they've gotten no response.
The people that are coming from, south to north, they're the ones, that have a blind spot, and the people that are coming this way have the right of way because there's no stop sign there.
The telltale signs of the crash were still there Thursday evening after a wreck involving 3 cars sent one of them into this townhouse on Union and Mar Vista in Pasadena. Authorities say there were no injuries in this crash, but residents say that hasn't always been the case.
It's been the second time that's happened in the last 2 weeks. There's another accident that's happened here a few months ago where a car actually flipped on its roof.
Bob says he's lived here his whole life, about 33 years, and that he's seen several accidents at this intersection. He says he and his neighbors have signed petitions and asked City Hall about putting in a stop sign on the one-way Union side of the street, but says their requests have fallen on deaf ears.
I've talked to actually even the police. I said, put a stop sign here. I think when I went to City Hall, I told them to put a stop sign here. I called. Nobody calls back. So
Bob says the city may have a reason for not responding.
Revenue.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Well, it probably pays them off to not have a stop sign because they have like motorcycle cops that park there in the mornings, and they catch speeders. So that's part of a speed trap too.
Bob says he hopes city officials do something soon so they don't have to keep putting up the yellow fire tape and construction items.
You know, someone's going to get seriously hurt. Even people that are walking, you can't cross the street. You just put a crosswalk here. You put a crosswalk, then they have to slow down. If there's somebody crossing the street, there's people crossing the street here all the time.
That was Bob Drabanjovic. I think I got his name right. We contacted police who said that they don't have anything to do with putting in things like street signs and speed bumps, that we should check with the Department of Transportation. Well, we too left messages for the city with the DOT, but they did not return our calls. Here are some stories happening this past week right here in the San Gabriel Valley. First, in Pasadena, authorities say 19-year-old Jasmine Denson died after falling out of a two-story window Saturday evening on Lincoln Avenue. It appears she may have been the victim of domestic violence after police say her 50-year-old live-in boyfriend, Tony Taylor, was arrested for criminal threats. Now, police say that murder charges are pending here and that he may also have shot her. The coroner's office is looking into the exact cause of her death. The FBI have arrested two San Gabriel Valley men they say stole the identities of Countrywide home loan customers. Authorities say 36-year-old Rene L. Rebollo of Pasadena was a former employee of Countrywide and that he sold the identities to 25-year-old Wahid Siddiqui of Thousand Oaks, who was also arrested after Rebollo was fired by Countrywide in July. We featured him and his artwork here on CCN during Black History Month in 2005. Prominent Pasadena mosaic artist Bill Crite has died. Silkscreen and mosaic works of art can be seen from Broman's bookstore, can be seen from Broman's bookstore in Pasadena all the way to the High Roller Suite at the Las Vegas Aladdin and Casino. And also on a number of TV shows like Cold Case Files. Crite died July 18th of heart failure in his Pasadena home. A memorial service is planned at the How We Does It Gallery in Alhambra. That's Saturday, August 9th from 3 to 7 p.m. You can see his works at williamccrite.com, and do /memorial, and you can see the information about his services. Much more news ahead. A local teacher retires after 41 years of teaching. You're watching CCN Crown City News, your neighborhood. We'll be right back.